Hello everyone, thanks for joining in. So today we are going to start with the integration of S/4HANA Cloud, Fieldglass, and SP Success Factor topics. So in this topic, if you see my note sections in the Notion app, so we have segmented into the four different parts. First of all, we'll be going ahead with the preliminary steps. So total we have 9 preliminary steps, and these are the prerequisite before we start our Fieldglass integration. In second part, which is very important one, we have a 22 steps from service procurement side to create a work order. So we'll go all through all these steps. And in the part C, it is all about the SOW. What are the different 19 steps we have to follow whenever we are doing any kind of a service procurement. So that we are going to cover. And towards the end, we have 5 checkpoints. Basically, these are all ERS. In short, we call it evaluated receipt settlement. Okay, how to settle those invoices and all in S/4HANA Cloud. Okay, so these are the 5 different checkpoints we're going to check. So it will take some time to go through all these processes. So we will go one by one. So today we are going to start with the part A, that is our preliminary steps. Yeah. So first of all, now what I will do, we will check all these 9 steps, okay, in our Fieldglass admin side, and we will verify whether we are fulfilling the criteria for all these things or not. Okay. So now let's, without any further ado, let's move on to the Fieldglass. So this is my SAP Fieldglass screen, and I have what I have done. So if you see here, let me showcase you. This is something called admin screen. So view administration menu. So I'm inside already the admin configuration side. So if you see, there are so many segment here, like user, workflow, worker, report, integration, financial data, configurations, company structure, a lot of factors, lot of segments, sections are there. So inside the company structure, so first of all, we will be verifying the first scenario, check whether we are having the business unit, our business unit is available or not. We will be checking this one. This is our test scenario, and we've already logged in. So we have to verify. So this is the company structure, and this is our business unit. So here we can see these are the different business units already existing, right? And we can verify. And if I want to create a new business unit, I can come here and I can simply come and create a new business unit. It's as simple as that. Suppose I'm going to create a new business unit. It will be like, let's say, I will put it like, let's say 01. Let's say this name is, I'm just giving a second business unit. And let's say parent business unit is, let's say, customer readiness. General ledger is an optional one, but let's say we'll leave it. Legal entity association, there can be single, multiple, so I'll just go with a single. And here I can choose the company code, which is I already created earlier. And in case of escalation is happening, I'll just choose the default one. Okay. Then we do have if coordinator is required or not. Let's say yes. And in case of yes, we have to find out who will be the coordinator. So let's say I will put someone in the coordinator. If it is distributor is required for this business unit, then if I say yes, again, I have to identify a person, let's say someone else, then use parent business unit for approval group. Let's say it is yes. And it is again, depending upon your requirement, you can change all these things. Original code, let's say, I will be putting SAP01. Yeah, that's it. So it is as simple as that. If I click add, it will be created. So how simple is it, isn't it? So here, this is the process we have to follow to create a business unit in SAP Fieldglass. And later on also, if you want to inactivate or remove, you can do that if it is not required. It's just a test environment. But if you want to edit or if you want to do some changes, you can always come back and you can change it here, right? So I'll go back to details. So this is all about how we can check whether some business units is available or not and how we can create a new business unit. Move on. Okay. I hope it is very clear. Okay. So we can also verify if any, suppose you want to look for any customer readiness or any MC automotive industry, that business unit is existing or not. You can always come here. So we can see everything is there, but it doesn't have any coordinator or distributor. So it is blank here. Okay. So it is very simple. Okay. So with this understanding, what I will do, so I will simply make this use case. What are the scenario? We will just make it as a pass. We will make it a green color, and we have verified these are all working for us. So we can follow the same steps. Okay. So here I can see. So this one we can update it later on, but yeah, this is how the first step we have now completed. Okay. So let's then move on to the next step. In the next step, what we are going to see, in the next step, we are going to check the site availability, right? So what is a site? If anyone can tell, you can also put in your chart window, what do you understand by a site? You must have seen similar kind of a concept in SuccessFactors recruiting LMS as well, right? Okay, now let's see. And this is the site here. But this site, if you see here, this is an existing site, let's say customer readiness or a US plant. Okay. So if I go inside this is an existing site. What does it say? It is having a particular code. It is having your currency. Okay. And what are the different addresses? Okay. So these are the details we will be having. It's also very similar. Also, you can see the site configuration, whether you are having time status capture and or not. Okay. And time sheet for contingent worker, time sheet for any kind of a services you're providing, time sheet for worker. Okay. So you can verify all these things. And also we do have in this site, you have your city details, where the site belongs to which area, right? So this is how the typical site looks like. And if you are to create a new site, always you can create a new site by coming here. Okay. So let's say I'll be creating a site for Gurugram. Corporate GTM, go to market strategy happening in Gurgaon. Let's say it is happening in Indian rupees, INR. So selectable site, yes. Parent site, let's say I will put it under customer readiness. Corporate calendar, let's say it uses the default corporate calendar. Legal entity association, let it be a single. And the company code, let it see this one. Then hours per day, let's say it is 8 hours per day, hours per week, considering 4 days work week. Let's put it at 32 hours, switch it in aspirational in India specifically. And put it here, let's say we'll put it as a Gurugram. I don't think it will come or not. Okay, yeah, it is coming. Gurgaon, Haryana, India. And here I will be putting as a DLF phase 2, Cyber City. Yeah, so let's put it as 1222001. Allow candidate anonymity, no, or you can put it as a, depending upon the requirement, then simply click add here. So this is again a very simple process how we can create a site. Okay. And I have not put it much here, but how it understood that all this value. So as we have ticked the corporate one, so from that it captured all these values. Okay. So if you want to change, always you can override this value. Okay. But this is how we verified what are the different sites are existing and how we can also create a new site of our own. Okay, you can always refresh or you can download the entire list for you want to give to someone. Okay, so this is your second step. Okay, in your checkpoint. So here in this test scenario, we have tested the availability of the site. Okay, so we have tried to search and also we have learned how to create a site. So what I'm going to do here, I will just mark it as a pass. Pass all the test scenario we have tested. Right. So now we are ready to move on to the next step. That is our step number 3. So in the step number 3, we will be verifying the cost center availability. Okay, so do you know from where the cost center actually comes? So actually, if you're having an integrated environment, so the cost center will be created in your finance system, specifically in your S/4HANA if you are using. And in our scenario also, actually to the replication program, it comes here. So if we go to the cost center availability, I can also verify that. So how to verify? In the same window, I can go to the cost center directly from here, or from the view sections also I can go there, right? So if I go here, so I can see there are so many cost centers already existing, plant and maintenance, US. There are different currencies we do have, right? So if I say check it for an Indian cost center, this is one of the cost center, plant and maintenance, and this is the currency. Okay, so also I will given a homework. You have to understand, tell me in the next session what are the difference between these two, rebillable cost object and project cost center. If you're coming from a finance background and all, or a project background, maybe it will be a little easy for you, but I would like to understand from you. So what are this meaning of it, right? So this is a small task for all of you. Then, yeah, so that is something you can see the cost controlling area is also attached to here. So this is how a typical cost center looks like in success factor field glass. So plant and maintenance, right? So now coming to the next step, we will be seeing, so this is the cost center availability we have verified. So we have seen these are the steps we have followed, company structure, we went to cost center and verified the cost center. So this is the way, okay? And if you want to repeat it, if I want to recap, so if you see from the admin configuration side also, from the company structure, directly you can come to the cost center. Is the same. So it will take you to the same screen. Okay. And also you can filter whether these are your own cost center or these are your used cost center or unused cost center. So there can be some cost center which are not has been created, but these are not used at all, right? So this can be a possibility. So these are the different scenario. So now with this understanding, now we will mark the step number 3 is a pass of our availability check. Let me put it as a comment here, pass. We are able to access the admin screen. We're able to access the cost center. We're able to search for cost center. So in this scenario test series, test script, we do not have a creation of, but I have also shown you how to create a cost center also, right? Like here, if you come here, if you want to create a new, so already we have seen Indian cost center already there. So if you want to create some, you can also come here and you can create a cost center. Let's say, generally it is not created. Okay, generally it comes from your integrations and from the success factor S/4HANA. Okay, but it is a provision, okay, to create your cost center, but it is not recommended as it will be coming from your S/4HANA finance. Okay, so I would say yes. Start date it will, let's say, August 1st, 2022. Open to associate, yes. Add currency, let me put it like everything, all the currencies, whatever we are having. Update. And the owner, you can begin someone like this. Record. Account category. Click add. Okay, so there are some errors. Okay, so if you see here, what are the errors? Project cost center. Okay, yeah, definitely. The end date cannot be the same. Yeah. So let me put it like 2028, 31st August. Let me put it estimated hours. So let's leave it and add it. Yeah, so now we are ready. So this is our training cost center. You can see which I have just now created for you. It is not part of a test script, but it is, you should know. But ideally it will not be created. Okay, so that's the quick tips. So now with this understanding, we have completed the step number 3 here, right? Now let's move on to the step number 4, check WPS element availability. So what is a WPS? Can anyone tell? You can write in the chat also. If you're watching it from the Zoom, or if you're watching it from a YouTube live, you can put in the comment section, right? Yeah. So if you go to this will be a part of again a cost center. So here, so we will see the system as well. Just a minute. Yeah. So after going to the system, we will see the company structure and inside the call center. We'll be going inside the call center, right? And here, let me go to the call center once again. Enter the code of the WPS element from the previous master table. Okay, search for the WPS element. Yes, so this is our scheme for plant owner, legal entity, expense code, include all task code. Okay, so this is something, environment is there, reliable, billable cost update, yes, for the cost center, yes. The other things already we are having, legal entity is there, task code, okay. So here we can see, yes, add or remove the task code. So we do not have any task code as such. Okay, we can see the billable hours, non-billable hours. So these are the different things we do have. So let's we add it. Billable, non-billable. We will be selecting all these things. And after doing that, let's move on. This is one of the code. And after work company code, default task code, select a default expense code. In total expense is one of the expense here, let's say. We have added it, right? And we will be updating it. Okay, so I think the last one we have not updated one. Let's get it updated again. Billable hours. So I think this is the one billable hours. Add selected, update, right? So here we can see. So these are the different include all task codes, and we have included all expense codes, right? Then yes, so account category and all these things we have seen, right? This is for a particular cost center, right? And now we are going to update it. So here, okay, so there is something instruction has been given here. If you have completed the master data replication, this WBS should be available in the field glass. Okay, if you have not done so, definitely these things you have to check in your system. If you have not completed the master data replication, you have to follow. There is a configuration guide to replicate WBS element from S/4HANA Cloud to the SAP field glass system. So this is something we have to check it out, right? So for the time being, we will mark it as a orange color, and we have to verify this. Okay, if you have not done it, let me know. We will be covering because this is something different, and we will be covering in a different session, right? So for the time being, so we will say that we will be writing our observation that we identified these things like a task code or expense code. Maybe we can take a snapshot of from here, and we can put it in our tests results, right? This is what we could find out in our system, right? But as such, WBS we couldn't identify as such, but let's say I'll put it as a skill sort here. Okay, I think it is getting done. So I will put it here somewhere like that. So in this section, we will just put our observation, right? And we will now go back to our main thing. Yeah. So this is somehow not 100% we are able to find it out, but let's check it out in our integration guide, what has been replicated and what has not been. So for the time being, we're making initial two things we'll be making it a pass. If you're having similar scenario, just let me know. And if you're able to do it, it's well and good. And we'd like to see your system and how it has been done. It is, we will be, I will not say fail, but I will say that to be checked. Okay. Okay, so now we will move to the next step. So this is something we will, as a part of this prerequisite check, we will next now move on to the inviting a supplier. So this is an easy one. You might be knowing earlier, this is already we have done in one of the previous session, but it was a different role, right? So this step, how we'll be doing, again, we will be going to the admin screen and from a supplier section, let me go to the admin screen. And from the admin screen, we will be moving to the section called vendor master. Okay, so vendor master is there, right? And from the vendor master, we can add search for the vendor master. So it is inside supplier, we have something called vendor master. And inside this vendor master, we can see there are a lot of vendor. We have Wipro, Accenture, we do Infosys, Deloitte, Test Labs, Wells Fargo, Test. There are so many test suppliers. So these are the different vendors. We are already empaneled them. Let's say we go with Accenture US as a vendor for us. And they are having S4HANA system. And yeah, so let's, as for this thing, we have to invite the supplier. So let's say, this is again, we have to make a note here. If you have completed the master data replication, so for us, it is already done. So for that reason, the vendor master is already available in our SAP field glass, and it is coming from your S4HANA. And in case, if you have not done this replication, you have to actually follow the configuration guide, how to replicate your vendor master from S4HANA cloud system to the SAP Fieldglass system. Okay, so that we need to identify, right? So this is something you have to refer the implementation guide for this or the configuration guide. Okay, so for us it is already done, so we don't have to do it. So we can see there's a next step. We have to invite the supplier, invite invitation mail, and we have to create an account, complete registration detail, and accept the attend. So if I go here, so we'll invite this vendor. Okay, so we're writing welcome or some dummy mail I'm writing. So you can, this is the process you have to follow. Invite to apply, click invite. Okay, so now actually this vendor has been invited. Okay, so they have to, okay, so you can see the status as a invited, right? This is the process you have to follow whenever you are invited. Okay. Okay. So now, what is the next? So actually, the remaining part at present I am not doing. Okay. So basically, whenever you're inviting to a vendor, so basically they will be getting an email. Okay. When in that email they will be getting a welcome email. I think in one of the email I have already tested earlier. So otherwise, if there is an option also, if you are joining as a supplier. Okay, you can use, there is an option here, register here to become a new supplier. Okay, so this one actually you are initiating yourself. Okay, so how to become a new supplier? And I am, suppose I'm putting my ID here. Let's say Nirnayak at outlook.com. Says I'll be registering as a new supplier. So I can go to my, so you can see this, there is a confirmation email has been sent to my email ID. And if I go to my email ID, I will be able to view that. Let's check it out together. And also you can try the same thing. Okay, so this is a different email ID. Let me sign off and sign in again. So let's see our email. I think it may take some time. Okay, anyway, if you have received the email, okay, you can just go there and you can search for that and you can register for that as a supplier. That is another way. So meanwhile, you check your junk email also. Let me try with another email. Check other email ID. Yes, we can see I have received an email from Fieldglass system. So this is how the typical email will be looking like for you. So if you open it, invitation to join the SAP Fieldglass system. Please confirm and register. Create your account in the SAP Fieldglass system. This registration will be, invite will expire in 2 hours. Okay, so what I will do, I will click here and I can register. Okay, so this is how. Let's say my company name is, let's say Lit Labs. Company code, let's say 1090. Okay, that is available. Okay, so I can put it a company address as, let's say DLF phase 3, Gurugram, or city name. I'll put as a Gurugram. I have seen it is already existing. Yes. Zip code 122003. Time zone, definitely India, Kolkata. If it is existing, Asia Kolkata time zone. Date format, we favor DDMM YYYY in India. Yes. Yeah, this is okay. Host name, let's me put it some name. Let's say Harshit Arora. Title, innovation leader. right? Desired username. So I will be putting some username like Gurugram 001. Let me set a password. So I will go to the next. Yes, so this is a legal agreement, contractor access agreement. Okay, we have affiliate users, cloud materials. Okay, you can go through this. Okay, so you can see automatically the contractor access agreement has been written by the company name with offices located at particular location, DLFST, Gurugram, Haryana, becomes a binding agreement between this and this. Okay, and all those details, whatever we are having, right? So these are all legal terms and conditions, right? Then you can see all these details. Then then you can finally you can put your declaration like this. Enter your name in the following format. So you have to follow the format strictly, otherwise it will giving an error. Accept and continue. Yes. Now we are done. So run company setup wizard. So you have now it is saying successfully created your SAP Fieldglass account. We can run the company setup wizard, and there are some 13 steps to follow. Okay, so we will getting started from here. So it will ask us to create an account, create your account. So already add a new account. Suppose I want to create, I will put in the code as let's say Story Lab. I'll put another code, say 1091 Story Lab. Add. So this step is completed. You now need to associate your account to the following site. Click OK. Okay. So now click next to follow the next process. So here, what I need to do, I'll be adding a site. So there is as such no site as of now. Okay, the site is not found here. So later on, we can create an associated site later on. But this is the process we need to follow. Yes. So that we can do it later on. Okay, so you can see that this is the code we have used. Now, so we can also create a password policy. Okay, so that you can edit. At present, I'm not doing, but if you want, you can come here and you can edit what should be the minimum length, maximum length. Okay, number of days, the typical password, or what are the exactly you need it. If you want a little bit more complicated one, you can create all this password policy. So for the time being, I'm just showing you, but we are not doing it in the interest of time. Okay, so once you are done, click finish step. Okay, we're getting a message like this. Once this is done, you can create your role. Okay, so user role. So what are the different roles we can have? We can have all accounts, administrator, general user, view only user. Okay, so we can have these are the different types of role. Okay, and already we're having these are the different roles. Okay, if I have to create a new user role, I can create a new user roles, right? Whether you are need applicant, candidates, okay, consolidate invoice, whatever you need it. Okay, and account setup you can create. We can say contract or a gig. Okay, and I will click add here. Click OK. So now we will move to the next step. Okay, so this is something we can back to the wizard again. At present, we are not associating with as such, but later on we can come back and also you can go through detail about it. So now the next is we have set up 4 out of 13, right? The next one is creating a user. Okay, we can create a user. Let's say Dr. Manish Mishra. Username Manish. Email ID, I'll just put a dummy one. So these are all details. You can do it. I'm not going. So we'll just attaching a gig role here. Okay, primary business unit is Let Labs, which we have just created. Primary supervisor, let's say Aurora, Harshit Aurora. Account is, let's say, Story Labs. Program office, let's say it's what are the access or they can view it. Okay, so everything I'm giving here. Currency, we are happy with our Indian currency, Indian rupee. Date format is perfectly fine. Number format is perfectly fine as per our requirement. This is fine. Yeah, this is something we can also put it here. With the TLF phase 3, Gurgaon. Gurgaon, Haryana, 122003. Phone number, I'm just not putting it, some random number. Click add. Yes, congratulations, you have successfully created a user. Now we will back to wizard again. So we have finished this step. So you have to acknowledge every time you complete this step, you have to acknowledge. So now the next one is a company details. Suppose if you want to give the details about your company, okay, which already we have seen. So more detail, you're like a company website, phone number, okay, company, then sticker, administrator, right? So all these details, you'll be able to fill it up here, okay? Diversity, okay? So all these details. Here it is a minority owned business enterprise. If it is a DBE means the disadvantaged business enterprise. WBE, it is a woman owned, women entrepreneur. Okay, they have created this company, then you can select it. VBE means veteran owned. Okay, so if it is owned by a small business enterprise, let's say we select this is applicable for us. If it is owned by the LGBT, okay, so you can select that, right? And accordingly, you can put your this thing like that. Okay, let's update it. Okay, so now we are done. We are going to the next step. So we'll click company details. We have finished. Click OK. Now the next one is a buyer. Okay, so created buyer. So basically what we can do, any SAP field-glass buyer companies where associated will be listed below. Some supplier service multiple buyer companies, and it is possible to have one supplier company that has access to multiple buyer. Yeah, that is perfectly fine. One supplier company has access to multiple buyer. Any buyer company can step and can do that. Okay, so that you can do. Okay, so at present I am not doing it. Okay, but you can always do that. Buyer storefront region. So I will click the finish step here. Okay, so now let's move on to the storefront. What is a storefront? It is as simple as the name suggests. What you see in your whenever you are visiting a store, what you see, right? So basically, the supplier storefront, it allows you to create a personalized view of your company. So it is more personalized view of your company in the SAP Fieldglass application to showcase the goods and services. So what are you offering? Okay, suppose I am going to a particular shop, what they offer. So they will be having some kind of nameplate, this list of articles, list of items they are selling. Okay, so that you can see that. Okay. So supplier storefront, actually, they will be providing what are the offerings they give. So they will be giving a listing out. So you can also see their address, contact information, just like in my website. Many of you have visited my website, right? So you might have seen my storefront. Okay, what I offer as an individual. So you can see my as an individual in HR technology, I offer this is my storefront. I offer silver membership, gold membership, and diamond membership. And what are the offerings? And I do have a price plan, price point for this, all of these things. And what are the offering for this? Okay. And how to start with and how to contact me. Okay. This is my storefront. Okay. So from a supplier point of view. Okay. So this is, so you can see, so this is the storefront. It will allow you, it will also to see what are the offerings, goods and services you are offering, and also you will see it will also include your address, contact information, company descriptions. Okay, so everything will be published there, right? So you can, as a buyer, also can search the storefront. So as one, many of you have, as students, you have searched in Google and identified me. Okay, so as a storefront. So it is a very simpler example. So buyers can search the storefront and invite your supplier company to join that program. And storefronts are not required, but are recommended to all suppliers who wish to be visible to the buyers during a supplier session. So it is an optional, but it is very important because it will increase your visibility in the market. Okay, so for that reason, it is very important how to use the storefront. So to review the current storefront settings published, you can always check it out. Okay, and if you want to edit, you can edit it here like this. So you can see in this category, you can Lit Labs, what does it offer? What are the different services? What are the different locations? Okay, in which area you are offering? Okay, suppose I'm offering, so you can see these are all chemical materials. So yeah, anyway, I do not offer this, right? So you can see any of the things. So let's say randomly, I will put it something like that. Okay, let's say some, is there any books or yeah, so there are some books for resource books. Okay. So let's say I'll put some books. Yeah. Add above algebra, alphabet books, alphabet activity books. Okay. Algebra resource books, I'll put it. Okay. Assessment resource books. So luckily these are available. So we can see, yeah, these are the books we can say available in our store. What I will do next, I will keep them adding here. Now you can see my Lit Labs company, the supplier that is having these are the books. Okay, and the buyers, whenever the buyer will come and they will be seeing all these things, right? And when it comes to locations, right? So location, let me see, predominantly, let's say it is, let's say Bhubaneswar is there or not, or what is, yes, Bhubaneswar is there, Odisha, and let me make it available there. Let me put some other locations like Barampur. Let's see. HMAPUR. Odisha. Yes, let me check it out. Yes, we are able to add it. Yes, Barampur, Bhubaneswar, and also we'll put a Gurgaon. My workplace. Gurgaon, Haryana, India. Yes, click add, and which all places will be available. Let's make it available for some other locations like Hyderabad. Hyderabad, Telangana. Let me put it as also Pune and Bangalore. Then we'll move on. Pune, so let's say Pune, Maharashtra, India. Then we have also available Bangalore. Karnataka, India. Yeah. So you can keep on adding more and more locations and also, and you can publish it. Number of employees, you can put it like less than 50 as it is a startup. So phone number, yeah. So we can put it like this, and let's save it. So this is the process you need to follow. how we can create a storefront, isn't it? Right. So now go back to the wizard. So there is a wizard is very helpful to set up the entire configuration. You don't have to remember from where to go and all. So now this is already we have done. Click finish step. Click OK. Now we will move on to the reason, right? When taking some actions, people are required to provide a reason, right? So whether it is a work order, not applicable, no longer available, so all these things you can, if you are closing some region, if you are rejecting some reason, right? So these are the different things we can do. Okay, suppose I want to create a reason. And inside the module, inside that we have 5 modules: job posting, job seeker, we have SOW worker, supplier invitation, work order, and all. Okay. So based on that, you can choose your reason. And whenever you're putting a job posting, you will be getting declined. Why is declined? Let's say position went on hold. That could be a reason, right? Sometimes it happens due to the project got cancelled, position got hold. You can put it as a reason, right? So in this way, we can create a reason. Okay. So now we'll go back to the wizard and we will click this is the finish step, right? Yeah. This is how we are doing an activity. And now next step is creating an activity. Activity is something you create activity items to manage the task required to when worker begins or ends an assignment. Okay. So whenever employee, a gig worker, a contractual worker, he's beginning or ending in assignment. Okay. You can always create this as an activity item. Okay. And to create the activity item, so basically for your supplier users to complete, you can choose any of this actor. So actor and activity, you have to remember. So these are different actors we can have: administrator, supplier account manager. Okay. And you can have an activity checklist also. So you can find out. So like for a typical, for an existing one, I will just show you. This is the typical activity items. So here we have activity item type manage worker, one day check in. So what are the different, who is the actor? So everything is mentioned here, right? So similarly, if you want to create, you can create a new item, new activity as well. So here you can do that, create a activity item. And whenever you are creating an activity item, there are 3 things: manage worker, add attachment, or other. Okay. Suppose you want to create an activity item using manage worker, you'll be getting 5 different options. Very nice. So here, whether it is an onboarding task or it is an offboarding task or editing a worker or revising a worker or worker closed. Okay. So these are the 5 different options you'll be getting. So let's say we'll be going for a onboarding task. Okay. So you can see if I go to the onboarding task, right? And you'll be getting an activity item type, or let's say visiting office tour. Okay. So whenever a new person is joining, office virtual tour. Okay, so maybe the person is not available, can create an office virtual tour, or in short, we can call virtual tour. Actor is, let's say, the gig worker. Mandatory, when will be due at the document creation prior to work on worker start. Okay, whenever the person is joining. Send work items, escalate. Let's say I'll put it three days. Let me put it edit. Yes, now we have created an activity item as well. So now we'll go back to the wizard again. Let's see how much is there. So now this step we have completed. We can see office virtual tour. This is a code. Okay. So this is the code which we have created as an activity. And this is all about the joining as a part of a joining formality for a virtual worker or a gig worker. Okay. We have seen that. Now we'll go back to the wizard. So now we will click this is a finish step because this step is now we have completed. Okay. Now, so you can see the progress bar also. It is encouraging that we have completed 10 out of 13 record items, that is 77%. So the now next one is creating an activity checklist. So previously we have created an activity. Now we'll be going to create an activity checklist. Right. So let's say I'll be putting the onboarding onboarding gig worker associate to, let's say it is a related to buyer. Okay, so there is a insight here. If you're selecting the company, right, then it will be assigned to all the workers in that company. Okay, for any other option, it will be required to the manually. So for anything, if you're a buyer or labor ties, it will be manually as of now. But if you are selecting the company, automatically the checklist will be assigned to all the workers in the company. Okay? That is the process we have to follow here. We will go to the click add here. Yeah. So click OK. Yeah. So this is the again, this step we have completed. Now we will go back to the wizard again. So we'll mark this is the onboarding created activity checklist. If you want to review it, you can always come back and review it, right? So this is what we have created. And if you want to put some association, you can always do that. So at present, we are not doing. So later on, we can do that. So now this step is completed. Okay. So the 11th step of required items are completed. So next one is a escalation threshold. Okay. So this is a interesting terminology, right? So read it carefully. I'll be giving him a 1 minute to all of you. Just read this. What does it mean? Right. So this is a kind of a nudging. Okay, suppose you're defining a notification so that it will be sent to the primary supervisor. Suppose you are saying that within 3 days it should be done, but it is not done. Okay, then you have to get some notification and so that there will be a action, okay, from that actor. So there is an example also they have given. Your work order has not been accepted in the 5 days. Suppose a work order was created, but it was not accepted within 5 days. So the notification will go to the responsible wages primary supervisor, and they will be taking those actions. Okay. So here I don't see there is anything. So I will create a escalation threshold like this. Okay. Maybe it is related to the onboarding. And there are different options here. So it's for job posting, for this work order, for work order revision. Okay. So what is the time threshold? We can put like 12 hours in general. So again, it is depending upon your customer scenario for the timing. For the example, to showcase, I will just adding it as a threshold time hours, right? This, and you add it back to wizard. Now we go back to wizard and we will say this activity we have done. Then we step. Yes, click OK. Okay. So now the last part where we started again, right? So this is the first scenario. Again, it is a repeat for us. Okay. So what we will do? So we will be seeing already there is a business unit. Of course, this is a code for that. Okay. So this is our, I can say BU. And in case if you want to create another one, you can always create. Okay. So for the timing, let me create a small another BU. Let's say value labs. Okay. So I'll put it at 1093. Let's say value labs. Parent business unit at P3 lit labs. Okay, click add it. Now we are done. So it is as simple as that. Now we are done and we will click finish step. Click OK. So now we are 100% step. You can see there is a finisher sign up, right? Congratulations, you have finished all the steps. You can start using SAP Fieldglass. Remember, you can always come back to the wizard via your homepage and easily manage any kind of future changes, okay, to your company. And you will be having access to the admin menu where you can, for the configured items are available. Okay, so this is the final message you'll be getting. Okay, you can always go back to the Fieldglass and you can see all the steps here, right? Including everything. Welcome Hasit Arora, welcome managing a dashboard, managing a job posting, right? So you will be seeing all these details from here, right? So this is at present, I have not posted anything. Okay. Suppose I want to create anything or view anything, or I can always do that. Okay. So this is how a typical supplier will be onboarded. Okay. We can see that. Okay, so supplier registration process, how a supplier will be. So this is something you can also try it. Okay. So let me check it out. If any emails, I don't think. So let me check it out. Okay. So as such, I think the email notifications are not much activated. Okay. But yes, so this is how you'll be creating. Okay. So now coming back to our test script. So we have seen how we can invite a supplier. We have seen that scenario. And suppose it is not by invitation, suppose you are doing a self. Okay. So that also we can do. And also, whatever we have to see, the invitation, complete registration details. Okay. Yes. Excuse me. So you can see all the details here, how to create this inviting a supplier system. Now what I will do, I'll put as a pass. Invitation email, we have got it. We have created an account, right? So we have put in everything. We have done more than this, but this is the bare minimum. Complete registration details, all the data point, right? So this is how you can send an invite and you can be getting all these things, right? So this is your step number 5, right? Now moving on. So now we will go to the next step. What is the next step? Next step here, assigning cost centers to the general ledger accounts to the task code. Okay, so let's see how we can do this activity. Step number 6. So we have to basically go to the admin screen, access the task code. So I will close my other site. Yes. So what I will do, I will go to the admin screen. It is easy as usual. We have to go to this. Yeah. So out of this, we will now move on to the financial data section. So let's see. So this is the financial data, and inside that we have a lot of things here. You can see currency conversion, expense code, expense type, invoice related stuff, GL, general related, ledger related accounts. So here we will be seeing the task code first. Okay? So we will be checking out the task code screen, and we will see. So these are the different task code, like billable hours, non-billable hours, right? So let's say this is your billable hours, BH. And you can see there are 54 cost center and 2 GL has been already assigned. Let's see. So here it is billable, and you can see the fields scale here. No custom field, original code, back to details. This is how a typical task code look like. Okay, and if you want to create a new one, let's say CSR, non-billable. If you're doing any CSR activities, then that is not billable to company. You can create a code like this. It is, as it is a non-billable, I will say it is a no. Task code adjustment, if anything, let's see. I don't see anything here. Okay, any custom field options we have? Okay, we don't have anything. So let's simply add it. This is how you'll be creating a ESR or any kind of a task code list, right? Okay. So now we have now created the task code. So here we are finding a cost center. Okay, so you have to click this, right? And now you can see these are the different cost center has been already added. Okay, so this is the different cost center. Okay, has been attached to this particular by default. Okay, so if I do click add here, if I have to create add any unused cost center, let's say, okay, I think this one we have just created, I think, yeah, and the trading cost center which we have created. Okay, you can simply add it, right? So in this way, that became 55. Okay, so in this is the process how we can attach a cost center to a task code, right? This is we are associating a cost center to a task code. Okay, so now select cost center for task code, right? Hmm. Yeah, so this is the process. So we have seen that how to attach a cost center to a task code, right? Okay, so now let's go back. Associating general ledger accounts to the task code. So we'll go to the general ledger account here. Same process. Okay, at present nothing is defined, and we can add here. Let's say we'll be putting. Let me put it. Let's see how much it's there. We'll be adding here. So I have added how many? You can see the number 100 GL accounts. Okay. So whatever is relevant in your organization, you can attach those number to general ledger and the cost center. Okay. You can put it here. Okay. Suppose if you want to see one of the general ledger, how does it look like? It is something like this. If you go to the general ledger also, you can see there is a mapping of a task code. Okay, so this is a task code which we have created, CSR not billable, and this is how the general ledger account has been attached here, right? So this is the process we need to follow, how we can associate a general ledger account to the task code. So all these 8 steps, whatever have been given to us, so we're able to complete it. Let's put everything in the pass. Yes, we are done. So this is your step number 6. Okay, how to assign a cost center and general ledger accounts to a particular task code. We have seen this in this particular step, right? So now let's move on to the next step. That is our step number 7. Set up release strategy for PR approval. That is a purchase requisition approval. Okay. Okay, so this is something makes sure to activate the default workflow. So we have a default workflow approval for purchase requisition item in the manage workflow for purchase requisitions app. So there is an app for it in the app. So for the following configuration steps to release strategy and use the manage workflow, or we're using Fiori S4HANA. So there is a note they have referred. And let's check it out, that note. So there is a S4 HANA applications. So we will check it out once. Let's go back to the S4HANA Cloud. For this, let's see that note as well, if that note is exists. If we get some hints from there. And meanwhile, we will also log into the HANA, that is my other system, my 308 302 S4 HANA. Yeah, this is the one. So I'm having the same user. So what they're asking, we have to refer this note as well as we have to set up the configuration step for the release strategy. So we will search for this application. Let's the application's name is F code is F2705. Let's search for it. It is directly available. So this is something not directly found in the catalog. Let's see. It is strange. Okay, if I search by the code, it is not available. Let's see. Search by this term. So this is the note we can refer. Configuration guide is attached. This kind of steps given in the non-clear document. In the procurement for S4 HANA, okay, guide to using managed workflow for purchase requisition of document type NBS will trigger flexible workflow to the attachment guide. Okay, so this is a guide. Maybe we can follow. Yeah, so it looks little lengthy. Let's move on. Manage workflow for purchase requisition. Purchase requisition is there. Manage workflows for purchase requisition. This is the one. Automatic approval for purchase requisition. Let's see it. Automatic approval for purchase item. Yeah, this is our workflow name actually. We should not get confused, so I'll make it as a color, green color. Okay, so this is your automatic approval item. And here we can see the detail about this application. So basically, what are the different conditions? Automatic release of what is done automatically and start conditions. Okay, this is something determined automatically. If you see the workflow, is the optional step, exclude restrict origin, recipient, determine automatically, time constraints or deadlines refund, exception handling, no business exceptions, recipient, automatic step conditions, automatic start, deadlines, exception handling. That is fine. Yeah. So this is the different, you can say, the approval. automatic approval of for purchase requisition. So we just need to confirm. I am sure this is the step, but we couldn't find out this application. So maybe we will put it into our comment. And with that note, we'll move on. And let's say this is our applications, which we have seen, right? And let's put it as a screenshot in our test script results, right? So these are the start conditions. So there is no exception handling or deadlines as such, but yeah, this can be configured much better way if it is required. Okay, so this is something, yeah, we have seen. Overall release of purchase requisition. This is the application. Release of purchase requisition item. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So this is we have seen. So this is automatic step number 7. And step number 8, set up release strategy for purchase order approval. Right. So this is also default workflow, automatic workflow. So this is the purchase requisition we have seen. So here the approval is for purchase order. So there are two things you'll be coming across if you are not familiar with this terminology, right? So there is a procurement of services plus item, and we will search for this app, automatic approval. Let's go back to the main page. Search for applications, manage application workflow. Okay. So these are all configuration you can see people who are doing in on-premise, SAP, SCM and all. So now this is everything is app. So everything has an application driven. You can see that for sales configuration, we do have sales document workflow, preliminary document, billing workflow configuration for purchasing. A purchase order we have seen this one. Okay, so this one, let's see, automatic approval for purchase order. Okay, so for purchase order, yeah, we have these are the different workflow we have. PO workflow, if it is a value more than this, okay, value more than this, and all automatic release of purchase order. Okay, so this is also we can go and verify. So before you come here, let's take a snapshot here to understand that these are the different workflow we have here under which applications, because that is not very clear. The test script. Okay, so here we can see it comes here under billing configurations, and you can see all these things here, right? So let me put a snapshot, entire snapshot here. What are the options we do have for billing? Sorry, I think I've taken a wrong snapshot. Let me go to billing. Okay, so billing and usually purchasing. Okay, this is where we are focusing on the workflow. Let's see this one. Let's focus on this section workflow for configurations. Configuration, so now purchasing. Okay, yeah, this is something. Yeah. So let's say I'll putting here. Yeah, so this is for automatic workflow. We have to go to inside this manage workflow for purchase order. So we will go inside this, and inside this we have seen 4 things here. under this workflow. All are active. 3 are active and 1 is inactive. And inside that, what we have seen that automatic release of purchase order. Okay, so this is the workflow we have seen. And start conditions, as usual, it is all determined automatic. So they have put no conditions here. So these are all automatic workflow. So let's see that. So once this is done, automatic release of purchase order, we'll go back. Let's see inside it. So these are the different 5 things they have written: step properties, recipient, step conditions. All these things are here, exception handling. You can take a snapshot if you want. Step conditions, deadlines, and exception handling. Right? Okay. So in this way, we can fulfill this thing. So for this, you require more knowledge about the procurement side of it. Okay. And how to set up these things. But for us, it is done for us. Okay. So it is done for you as well. Definitely. And let's move on to the next step. Right. So we have seen how to set up the release strategy for purchase order. And I will just go back and recap again once if you are, I think you are having some queries related to PR and PO, purchase requisition, right? And purchase order, right? So if I go back here, manage sales document, what is there inside it? Okay, so this is something we don't have much work for. Sales order, sales contract. We don't have much. Purchase order, purchase order we have seen. Purchase contract, scheduling, supply, purchase, manage workflow for purchase requisitions. Okay. So this applications and this applications we have to focus. So this is manage workflow for purchase requisitions. Okay. So this is something, yeah, we have verified this, right? So yeah. So automatic approval for purchase requisition we have seen. And if I go inside it, we again will be having those 3 steps: properties, start conditions, and steps. If I go inside it, I'm using 5 things here: step properties, recipient, step conditions, deadline, exception handling. So most of the 3, all the steps, there's a blank here, okay? Because we are considering automatic release of the PR or your purchase requisition. We did not need any value to be filled up here. Okay, so I'm just doing a recap here for people who are having questions. How we can release purchase requisitions. So recipients, step conditions, deadline. Then we do have exception handling. So at present, we have not configured anything because it's an automated one, but it is worth understanding from where it is coming from. Okay, so all this section you can see. So this is the step number 7. Okay, set up release strategy for your PR approval, right? And easy to remember. So if you go back, people who are new to this module, there are 2 applications we are using. In the step number 7, we have used manage workflow for purchase acquisitions, and out of that, so I'll just make a highlight here so that it will be easy for you. So these 2 applications only will be using in our case. This is this one and this one. These 2 applications. This is for step number 7. This is step number 8, right? So I'll just make a note of it and go back. This is something we have to check it out. Step number 7 and step number 8, right? So I'm just putting it in the both the release strategy for purchase requisition approval. You'll be finding inside it, and step number 8 that you will be finding in the next step. That is your set of release strategy for purchase order approval, right? So this is your step number 8. Now coming back to the point, last step of the part 8. Okay, hope you're enjoying it so far. All the 8 steps, hope you have completed successfully. In case not, let me know, we'll come back. And step number 9, let's finish with the step number 9 today. So the step number 9 is all about SAP Task Center. The approval workflow tasks in cloud are optional, right? But can be set to automatic because SAP Fieldglass is the main system of engagement for users. Okay, so we don't want to wait for something, right? So always these are optional, but generally this is set up to a automatic one. So this is something we have to follow. For more details, you can always refer to this particular link they have given. Let's see what is there inside it. So this is the best practice explorer they have given us. Okay, I always follow. This is something you also should follow. So SAP best practices, because with this our life becomes easy. SAP best practices explorer, and or sometimes they call it leading practices in some cases, right? So let's see what is there in store, and also there is a note they have given. With this note also we can refer. Okay, so still release strategy to manage workflow for purchase requisitions of using Fiori HANA. Okay, so this is the same, not a very old or new one, same things. Okay, so you have to follow this document if it is required. This is a handy document, guide for managing workflow, how to for purchase requisitions, as well as so I'm just making a note of it, and I'll be sharing this guide also after today's session. And this is a guide. Another is a release strategy configuration workbook. Sorry, cookbook. So here, so everything is cooked for you, and you have to just refer this. Okay. So this is the release strategy guide, the configuration workbook, cookbook. You can refer, and how to launch all these applications. Nothing much new here. Okay. So similarly, this is also very small one. You have to identify who is the agent, who is the prerequisites, what are the prerequisites and all. Okay, this is your SPC best practice explorer for procurement of services, right? So what are the key process flow we are having? Okay, so these are the 4 things: manage purchase requisition, PR, PO, service and receipt, and invoices, right? So invoice management, your PR, purchase requisitions, purchase order, service and receipts. Okay, all these 4 things you'll be having. And business benefits, they are given 5 business benefits you'll be getting. So it will be more efficient and cost-effective procurement processes, highly automated processes, reduce manual effort, real-time monitoring purchase order items with analytical list page. Okay, so these are the different things we'll be getting, and all these details you can refer, like process flow, what are the different test scripts. Test script always prefer to use the test script directly. Okay, so even the current one which I'm using, that is also SAP best practices test script from SAP Fieldglass. Okay, so you can always refer this test script. Okay, so this is the test script for S/4HANA Cloud for procurement of services. So how to, we are not going into detail because this is something our adjacency skill, I will say. So people who are more into procurement and all, they can go for all these details, right? How to test all this, how to create a PR, how to create a PO. Okay, all these things they can learn from this. So this is very interesting. Maybe sometimes we can also discuss these things, and the people who are procurement expert, so we can invite them and we can learn from them. Okay. So this is something you should be aspire for it. Okay. So this is we have seen approval workflow task with S/4HANA are optional. The SAP Fieldglass workflow task can be accessed through SAP Task Center as well. Okay. So now you might have seen in SAP BTP platform we have something called SAP Task Center. Okay. So this provides a single entry point for all the business users to access all of their assigned workflow. So you don't have to, for different workflow, you don't have to go to different places. Now it is a more unified the single point where you'll be getting all the workflow in the same task center. Okay, so all of your workflow items, all of your approval, all of your task to-do lists, everything will be there. Okay, what is the task center. Okay, so that you can also go to, if you want to study more about it, you can go for what is the SAP Task Center. Okay, it's a very interesting topic, and you'll be finding very interesting. So just like this, you can see. So the task provider can be, is our favorite, SAP Fieldglass, SAP SuccessFactors, as we're dealing with HR applications. And other than that, we have S/4HANA Cloud, others applications, and that will go, this task provider solution, it will go to the destination in the by connector. And this is how a typical in SAP BTP Cloud Foundry environment, this is how the SAP Task Center looks like. Okay, so we can go about it, learn more about it, right, in your free time. And I'll be also sending this document if you want. In your LMS, it will be available, right? So this is your SAP Task Center related things. Okay, this is a new release, 1st of August 2022. Yeah? So we can go for it. So this is something they have written. Yeah, the approval, all the approval involved. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Let's see what else is there. Okay, so let's see what else is. So we have almost completed everything, whatever is the prerequisite for our integration to work. So total 9 steps, just to summarize what we have seen here today. So in this journey, the part A is having the 9 preliminary steps for SAP Extended Workforce Management integration. So it covers 3 products, S/4HANA Cloud, Fieldglass, and SAP SuccessFactors. And here we have total 9 steps. And we have seen how to check the business unit, how to check the site, how to check the cost center, how to check. So this is step number 4, which is actually, we need to check it out because it was not available. And we have to verify in the upcoming sessions. And if you're having also similar issues, just let me know. And also in the step number 5, we have done successfully. We invited a supplier, and also we have learned in a very detailed way how, even if there is no invitation, in a supplier also how you can log in and you can create your own account. Okay, in this as a supplier, and the email notification we have seen, and there was a wizard. There are 13 steps inside it, and how to enter supplier registration. We have seen that, right? And in the step number 6, we have seen how to assign a cost center, and to general ledger, how to assign cost center and GL to a task code. Okay, we have seen the task code and how we can assign that. And step number 7, we have seen how to set up the strategy for the PR approval, because these are the automatic process. So step number 7, 8, 9, we have nothing to do. So these are already automatically done. Okay, so that is all about your part A. Hope you really like the part A of the session. Now we'll be having more interesting sessions in the upcoming days. That's the part B and part C, which is the major one. And part is a little easy one. So we will go step by step. So that's for all today. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me and in our LMS platform. So in the platform, if you are not having that, so we'll be launching this in our new general platform. So this is it will be available as a learning item inside this. So that you'll be getting access, right? So this is all about today. And let's take a break, and we will, in the next session, we will continue with the part number B. So part B is having 22 steps. Maybe we will cover in 2 to 3 sessions, depending upon how much you can complete it, right? Okay. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.